Hello and welcome back to How to Play Stellaris Advanced Version Episode 5. Last time I made the promise that I couldn't keep of creating our first mercenary fleet. Instead, we expanded our market a little bit more onto the new factions that we know. At least one of them. There's another one that doesn't really like us enough yet. Here we go. The Polarian Star Council, of course. We are working on getting onto them, but we are not quite there yet. We need more trust. Until then, we'll deal with some minor issues. We blew up some random space junk in preparation of fighting even more space junk over here. I think we're doing fine. I think we can just repair our fleets and then head over and gain access to a new planet that we could colonize, as a matter of fact. Also, we are really close to getting that mercenary fleet. We only lack 18 more points of naval capacity, which is basically 6 destroyers. So once we have that, we are good to go. I will just send home my fleets for repair. Oh, an upgrade. Yeah, sure, why not? We have the resources. Yeah, we do have the resources. So everything is going to be repaired. And once that is done, we'll fight the mineral extraction operation. We just got another tradition perk. We already finished diplomacy and mercantile, which are the key traditions for our playstyle. Everything else now is, I'd say, secondary. If we had plenty of other megacorps, which we couldn't really use for our branch offices, we'd go for amity or supremacy maybe, and then head over into more warfaring kind of game style. Right now that would be just waste of points and money also. So there are a bunch of things you could go for right now. Aptitude, I'm not really sure about that. That makes your leaders better. Expansion and adaptability is useless for us because we don't expand that much. Harmony is a generically okay thing to do. Domination, again, is fine but not great. Really more interesting in for like a larger empire. Prosperity, you can always go with prosperity. That's fine. Same goes with statecraft, one of the newer ones from the Galactic Paragon DLC. Supremacy, as I said, if you were fighting a lot. The lower ones, we have to unlock them with a ascension perk. So nothing really. Oh, I forgot about discovery. Discovery is the generic thing that I usually pick when I don't have anything specific I want to do, just because of the 10% research speed. Like everything else here is really not that great, I would say. Research alternatives is nice, but yeah, the rest is very meh. So this time, since I cannot decide on anything else, I will go with subterfuge. More spies, but more effective spying, more effective cloaking. Like, this is stuff that could actually be of some use eventually. So what is actually the base thing? We got a new agenda, but more subterfuge-related technologies. That is basically saying stealth technologies show up faster. Also, if we actually manage to unlock psionics, the combination subterfuge psionics is really good, because there is shield technology that really works well with cloaking. Right.
Council agenda available.
What is the new council agenda anyways? I never quite remember that. Uncover secrets, code breaking, and base intel. Well, fine. Well, base intel is actually not too bad, really. Speaking of which, that is literally the very next technology that I could research is the basic cloaking field generator. That's good. And the active reconnaissance is good for our listening posts, not listening posts, the observation posts over pre-FTL civilizations. Basically just gives you more gains. And the cloaking device is an auxiliary component in your ships that allows you to basically fly through enemy territory without being attacked if your cloaking strength exceeds their sensor strength, which it will unless the enemy has specific technologies or specific parts that increase their sensor strength. So basically your military fleets and your science vessels will be able to bypass any enemy territory even if the borders are closed. That is great, but it's not as great as you might think, since your troop transports and colony ships can't do that. So you cannot get out of a setup where you blocked, like here. You cannot just colonize stuff on the other side, and you can also not really go on war with someone who is not who's separated from you by a different faction, and then trying to conquer their planets. You can still go to war with them and just blow up stuff, but you cannot get your transport ships over. So there are limits to how useful that is, and as I said, it takes up your auxiliary slots. Also, the basic field generator only works on corvettes. For destroyers, you need a bigger one, and so on and so forth. So, but let's get started with this. It's even if it's not the greatest technology, it's just fun. It's really fun. We met some curators. I think it's a no-brainer. It's a faction. You can pay 1,000 credits in order to get plus 10 research speed for 10 years. It's absolutely, if you can, it's even halfway decently afforded, you should do it. Just more research, and you get plus 20 on their opinion. When your opinion is high enough, you can ask them for information on other factions, which is neat. You can also hire scientists, but that's not really super important. So let's try to get a bit more research out of them. Also, if you can build a starbase in their system, it's also nice. There is a specific building for your starbases, which also again increases your research, but they're so far away, there is hardly any chance we get there. Anyway, our ships are on the way to fight the drones. Our Federation has increased its level, so we can now go for medium Federation sensorization, which I haven't even suggested, but yeah, let's do this. After all, we want to take over sooner or later anyways. We're still not quite there yet, but we have slightly more favors now. Eventually there will be enough to at least win over one of the two, and that is good for us. The new perks are trade value plus 5% for everyone, which is great. Trade protection, yeah, it's nice. And the president gets Federation influence. Federation influence. Don't even know what that means exactly, quite frankly. But, well, yeah, it's probably good for them. Okay, I usually go for the rare technologies whenever I can. Rare technologies are the purple ones, cloaking field, for obvious reason. The baby technology, no. The Curator Archaeological Lab is a bit of a niche thing. Archaeological digs take ages. This speeds it up because the archaeologist has more chances of succeeding on a breakthrough. it makes a lot of sense if you have a lot of archaeological sites. We have 4 in our territory here, and yeah, if we're lucky, they can provide us with great technologies, especially if we take the corresponding perk, the Ascension perk, then this whole stuff can get really out of hand with crazy weapons. Well, let's see if we're going to do this or not. Alright, the battle is on. We also made kind of contact with another species, so there is a chance that beyond this system there is just the next empire. Yeah, they had a good initial strike, but I think we're going to win this with little damage to our fleet, which is good. Oh, I'm saying this while the number of fleet capacity drops. Let's see, how bad was it? Oh, 1 corvette. That is alright. That is perfectly fine. You guys go home, repair, and everyone's already here at the ready. Is going to make way over there, because I'm afraid if we don't move fast, then this system might be lost to us, which would lock us in pretty much. Although we still can try to go out here too. Anyhow, this was successful and didn't cost us too much. Oh, look at that! Finally, our good friends, the Pelirians, agree to a what the heck? Yeah, commercial pact, which benefits them greatly, and to us it's alright. But we will go and get a nice little branch office. Just have to keep my child from running away and doing something suicidal. Here we go. Where are the Pelirians? Where are the Pelirians? Let me see. Here we go. There we go. And there is their homeworld. No, I want the homeworld. And here we can establish another holding, which is great. 80 influence. Yeah, we're a bit short on influence, but doesn't work. Doesn't matter. Oh, we got even 2 slots. That is neat. Means we'll get the temple and something else. Now I have to really think about it. Yeah, the other ones are not that big yet. Let me briefly see. The branch value is 34, so we like a quarter of that is already at some. It's worth something. Amenities, commercial forum. Yeah, I think we're probably going for the branch office value of plus 25%. Nothing in particular otherwise is required here. So let's go for more money. More money is always good. We now have basic cloaking technology. Oh my goodness. It's all interesting. It's all interesting. The FTL stuff is very common. I'll get this later. So what I usually do is I'll create one version with the cloaking field and one without. As I said, this only works right now for the Corvette. The destroyer doesn't have the proper tech yet. We need the next level of cloaking devices. So I'm not going to make every ship a cloaked cloaked vessel, because I mean, as for now, we don't even have the exotic gases. Like, we couldn't even do it. But also, it costs a hefty amount of power, at least early on. It's a hefty amount. Later you can deal with it easier. Right now we could even pay the extra energy, but as I said, we don't have the exotic gases yet. So usually have a design that I use for a entirely cloaked fleet. It makes no sense to have only some of the ships cloaked. So I'll have at least one cloaked fleet and probably one uncloaked fleet, which is usually my defensive fleet or my main attack fleet, while the cloaked one is the one that supports them either by making some raids on the enemy or kind of abusing the AI. If you have a regular fleet and a cloaked fleet flying together, then the AI only takes into account the strength of the uncloaked fleet, so you're more likely to catch enemy fleets that otherwise would have fled from you. It is a bit of an exploit, I'd say, but nevertheless. So I made a tiny mistake during first contact, and now one of the species I'm having first contact with is hostile. They yelled at me over the phone, and I yelled back, and that apparently was not great. Whatever happens to the best of us. So it would be a little bit dangerous to continue surveying the systems, but fortunately enough we have a cloak. So I activated the cloaking field. There's an icon here, and you can see immediately that the entire fleet is cloaked. It's just the science vessel, so we can continue surveying without being shot out of the sky. Also, I'm going to build a starbase here right immediately. Not because I'm scared of someone attacking us, of course, that would be silly. But I mean, this is very likely to be border to one or two civilizations. Actually, might be that either direction is something going on. So it's likely this is going to be a border for us. Plus, it's just trade value. Let's just get the money. Also, there's a planet. I should probably send a colonization ship now, because it is in fact almost nice for my people. But I mean, 50% is not great, quite frankly. That's one of the better ones. And is that the case? 50% is the best. I am appalled by this, but it does seem to be the case, right? There is this one, which is also 50%. So we could go for both. What else is in Alp? Oh no, it's really Alpine worlds are 80% for us, and Arctic and Tundra is 60. Yeah, I think we can rule out that we're going to find any better worlds. Still, just the size 14 is tiny. This one I'll take. Like, I mean, I'm not happy about the 50%, but it's really big. So let's use that one. Still not sure if I'm going to colonize Maval Sif. I think I will blow up these guys pretty soon, and see if we can find anything interesting on the other side of that group of monsters here. Yeah, I think that's the game plan. I mean, this is a gamble. As I said, I want only 3 planets. It's a gamble to not pick this one, hoping to find a better one. I think at this point I should have probably just taken it. It won't be as great as a bigger planet with a similar climate, but I would have it takes ages before a planet is actually producing more than it eats up. So it is not great to have waited that long, quite frankly. But I think I'm going to compound the arrow and just hope for a really cool Gaia world somewhere here. Let's see. We now made contact with the guys we are kind of embarrassed in during first contact. The funny thing is they are harming our relationships because of this, even though we actually, like, with plus 80, pretty on decent terms with them. I'm suggested establishing an embassy. The commercial pact would be accepted if only for the trust. So let's see if they stop harming our relationships anytime soon, so we can be all big friends. Also, our first excavation just concluded, it seems. Nice. No, wait, actually we found a new site. Okay, yeah, shame. Anyway, and it's slightly outside of our territory. I don't think. Well, let's see. Maybe we can claim that too. I want excavation sites. Our fleets are repaired, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah. So we can open up the last path out of our system. I don't know what I was thinking when I was talking about how many ships I need. Destroyers are worth 2 points, corvettes are worth 1. So it is 12.6 corvettes from now on. A few of them are currently being built. When I say a few of them, I mean 2. No, 1. The colony ship. So 5 more corvettes, and we'll have our first, well, 4 corvettes and 4 destroyer, 1 corvette. That is what I wanted to say. Then we'll have our first mercenary enclave, and I'll have enough time to kill those guys here, and then we'll rebuild a new fleet. Great time. So that is actually an interesting dilemma. See, we are having 2 different societies here. The Stone Age guys up yonder, and the early Space Age people of Deneb 3. They make progress towards the next stage, which is, I think, already a proper full society, full faction. So we cannot attack them right now because they are pre-FTL, and our policy, especially being xenophiles, does not allow for that. We can wait until they advance to the next era and then try to fight them. Don't really know about that, if that's a great idea. In theory, I could also do a fun thing, and that is I could try to use espionage, that is part of the First Contact DLC, to just take over the government. Then I'll have the planet with the current society on it. It's part of my empire, which, I mean, I wanted to spread my own little dragons, but I mean, I would have gained like 30 pops, which is also pretty strong. So I might actually try to do this. It might not work out, given that I don't have gene tailoring, which decreases the chance of this whole thing. Also, I'm running out of time. They might at any point turn into a full faction, in which case I might have to declare war on them. Let's see about that, because having a different faction sitting here dividing my empire in 2 would be devastating. Now, with the Stone Age guys, I don't mind them sitting here. That in the middle of nowhere on a Gaia world. Look at that. It's a tiny Gaia world, so I'm actually kind of inclined to leave it to them. I already, for lulz and giggles, had their ethics changed a slightly bit They're currently xenophile, which is good. Pacifist, which and materialist. That's bad. Like 25% of the population is good. The rest, exactly opposite of stuff that I have. Pacifist is opposite to militarist, and materialist is opposite to religious. So that is bad. I will have to indoctrinate them, and then I might actually trying to give them advanced knowledge to make them a new faction which I can use then to trade with. But they need to be indoctrinated first. Taught the errors of their ways. Another little complication has occurred, and that is creating a mercenary enclave only works if you have those 50 points of fleet or naval capacity in one fleet, which I cannot do right now. I have a fleet capacity of 30. So even though I have 50 points worth of ship, I cannot combine them and convert them into mercenary enclave. I have to discover technology that lets me have a fleet size of 50. Bollocks. That is really bad, but well, can't be helped. In the meantime, our early space age society has had a problem with an attempt to develop an FTL drive. The experiment backfired so bad that they reverted to the atomic age, which is good. I have enough time now to take over their society, but it's kind of funny. Like it's like if Elon Musk developed a rocket so bad that we all reverted it back into industrial age. Like I mean, it's not unthinkable, but it's bad. So yeah, I'll fast forward a little bit. Hopefully I'll pick up a technology that allows me to go to the create the mercenary fleet. Otherwise it's not really much going on at the moment. I'll try to figure out if something interesting is happening here. Otherwise our borders are relatively set at the moment. We're doing okay overall, so I'm not too concerned about being locked in. Well, what can I say? The Palurian Star Council had a bit of a rough time with the Yanarian Empire. They were at war. Apparently they lost quite a bit. Now they see themselves in a rather tricky situation. If they just wait until the truce runs out, their enemies will just swallow them sooner or later. So they make the offer to become our subjects, which of course we will agree to this. But I mean, from now on, things are fairly straightforward. Just yeah. We want everyone to be able to contribute to the fleet. So yeah, this is going slightly too well, but it goes to show you can totally do a diplomacy only victory. Let me just check one thing. Why can't I force them to? Oh yeah, I have to change their contract, I think, so that we make them vote the same way we do, and then we can basically take over the alliance. Is that it? Yeah. So right now they have independent voting. As soon as we can switch to restricted voting, this is going to be very, very bad for the independence of our alliance. So yeah, I'll play around with this a little bit. but it's more or less over. I'll try to fast forward to the point where we can create a mercenary alliance, mercenary, how's it called? Mercenary thingy, enclave. Yeah. And then we would have an alliance to support us in conflicts, a direct subject, and a mercenary enclave, plus whatever fleet we can build up afterwards. Like this is insane. It's relatively early in the game. Like we are basically unbeatable if anyone wants to declare war on us. There's so many people joining in if someone would attack us. So, and since our economy is doing well, and we are going straight for diplomacy and people like us, there is a good chance once the galactic community, which still doesn't exist yet because it's so early on, we will have a strong presence there too. So let's see once we get the mercenary enclave how situation is going to look at that point. As I hoped for, we have access now to psionic theory. This is good. This is just generally good. 10% less empire size for pops is pretty much one of the biggest factors for our empire size. 50 points right now, so we lose 5 points. That's good. Also, it gives us access to the Ascension perk Mind Over Matter, which then will allow us to pick the tradition psionics, which is a generally good thing, especially if you want to use stealth and espionage, but also it helps you with research. It's just a really good set of buffs. It doesn't tie in with the theme of merchants, but that is already going really well. Don't put all your eggs in one basket. You want to have some other perks too. Once your main thing runs smoothly, pick up other things to complement your abilities. If we were having bigger problems with neighbors, if we could not have had as many trade contracts as we have right now, the solution would have been, or the obvious choice would have been to go with superiority. With a superiority, the thing that gives you lots of combat advantages in offensive wars. So we don't need this, so we can go for stuff like Mind Over Matter, which is probably the next perk I'm going to pick up, and then on Archeo Engineers, which will boost our weaponry significantly. It only makes sense to pick up that perk if you have a bunch of dig sites and, most importantly, an monthly income of minor artifacts, because now if you use those artifacts, the ancient weaponry, then this means your ships will cost minor artifacts to build. Fortunate enough, not as an upkeep, but still, you want a steady income of minor artifacts. Otherwise, this is a tricky choice, I'd say. So let's continue with this for a little bit longer until we can finish up our mercenary enclave, and I think then we are pretty much done. Now enough time has passed to change the terms of our vassal, and we're going for restricted voting, unified sensors. The restricted voting grand total reduces our monthly loyalty gain by 0.2, which is not bad. This value here does not take into account all of the bonuses. If you want to know exactly how much loyalty you gain or lose, you have to go through contact and agreements. That says that in fact I'm doing 5.3 plus, so 0.2 less is still plenty loyalty. I could squeeze out more stuff out of them, but I don't really want to. Like, I mean, the best probably would be increase the holding limits, because holdings can be mutually beneficial. I don't want to squeeze more resources out of them because I want them to flourish actually. So, but I don't care about the holding. So let's go with this. Oh, also, any change you do cost influence. So make sure that your initial terms are set properly. You can see them in government, policy and edicts, in subjugation war terms. So if you want synergetic terms, you have to set it like this if you want to just squeeze everything out of them, because if you want to change it later on, this is only 2 small things I changed, and it's 75 influence it cost me. If I want to change more, it's gonna, yeah, this costs another 100 influence. So make sure you set it properly, and then you're good to go. I have to let it tick through. And now if I go to Federation and I were to suggest a change, they should automatically vote the same way as I do. Well, doesn't show right yet. Maybe the hasn't registered yet. Oh yeah, give me some more negative traits. Yeah, here we go. Now the terms are through, and now when I go to, yeah, now they're on my side, whatever I do. Thing is, I need 3 votes, and right now I'm still not getting enough flavors. I wanted to say favors. They used to be obtainable through trade, which is not the case anymore. You can only get them through events or through the diplomacy perk. So there is no way to increase the rate other than assign more envoys to the factions, and I don't have that many envoys to spare. So probably my easiest choice would be to subjugate another faction. So I have 3 votes at any time. I can therefore pass any law. That is, I'd say, the easiest way to break alliances, to make them basically your plaything. I'm trying to achieve this eventually. Right now it doesn't matter that much. Like, I'm doing quite well as is. You can see if I want to win anyone over, I can just flood them with resources. I constantly have way too much stuff, and I have to basically trade all the time to get more alloys, just because I'm far away from the cap here, but everything else is really close to the cap. So whatever I want to happen, it basically happens. In utter desperation, I've decided to infiltrate the government of the people of Deneb 2. I had to push up their tech level to early space flight. Yeah, now they are part of my empire, which, I mean, I have an odd population here. They're spiritualists because I pushed them towards that. They're authoritarian, which and xenophobe. I have to definitely workshop this. They are not happy. This is all crap. But there are 42 of them. So yeah, I significantly increased the size of my empire. Should probably make this a sector. Yeah, was too juicy not to do this. But now, yeah, lots of resources will go into making this planet actually worth it. But then again, I have plenty of heat resources. So yeah, three planets, the amount I needed or wanted to have. I'm terraforming another one just for lols and giggles because I have so much money. But yeah, that's one way to deal with this. Oh, look at that, 89 trade goods. Okay, take that, thank you. So we've done it. I got the fleet capacity that I needed, turned my 50 ships, or like 50 naval capacity, into mercenary enclave that I now can rent back for a merely 776 credits. This will increase when the size of the fleet increases. Right now it's 7k, which is not immense, but it's alright. So it's for 10 months. No, what is it? 3 years, right? Yeah. Which is okay. It's not great, but it's okay. You can extend it whenever you hire them. Once the time limit runs out, so you don't have to fly back. It's a big fortress in the system where you create the enclave, where the fleet was stationed. At the moment you create the enclave, I did put it on my border, which is a bit daring, because if you ever lose the system, you lose the patronage of the mercenaries. Patronage means they will pay you every now and then some money. Also, they are much cheaper, and no one can hire them against you. The last things that patronage entitle you to is you can upgrade the fleet. You can give them money so they buy more ships. You can give them money and minerals. You can give them money to upgrade the tech level of the ships, and you can call back the ships if anyone else had rented them, which is incredibly useful. Yeah, all right. At this point, I'd say the game is over. We have a mercenary fleet. I can now use my vast wealth to build another fleet. Due to galactic law, I can even create another, a second enclave, which is great. If anyone were to attack me, my alliance and my vassal would help me. Same goes with when I want to start a war. I think I can probably get my alliance joining in. As soon as I have another vassal, which I'm going to work for as my next goal, if I continue playing this on my time, then I could entirely take over the alliance. And since everything goes nice and everyone likes me, I will probably, as my next tradition, go for politics to also take over the Galactic Council. So game over. Like, I can just now sit back and relax and wait until the end game crisis shows up. If it doesn't work out for you just like this, you might encounter more hostile empires early on. Then you probably want to rather go for amity and maybe defiance early on to help you with the more direct approach. You can always cycle back once the immediate threat is gone and you find more friendly factions to trade with. But that is the beauty of this playstyle. You have some versatility. You can switch back and forth a bit and deal with different scenarios, which is really neat. So I hope this whole thing was interesting to you, helpful, helped you to learn a little bit about some of the less intuitive concept of the game. I will end the series here. If you're interested in another playstyle, another series on Stellaris, please let me know. Otherwise, I'll think of something fun to do after this. So long, take care, hope you have a good day, maybe see you in another video. Goodbye.